This is a real treat for me today. I'm in San Mateo with Patrick Walsh, head coach of Serra High School. We're in his house, and it's just going to be a free-flowing conversation, Patrick.
Sounds good.
Exactly, because we joke you got to be at Serra at what, 11:30?
Yeah, I got to get. There's always someone pulling at something.
Exactly, and so that's good for you today. That'll get you out of here. But we joke that this will be the first time. I'm trying to think where should we start, Patrick? Maybe we'll talk about Serra, but for you, people don't even know about this. Watching De La Salle on Saturdays, Russell Lawson. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many memories just kind of going back, and at an early age, I knew I wanted to be a Spartan. And watching guys like Russell Lawson play, I'll never forget, it's 1985, they were playing Moreau Catholic, and they had Braxton Banks going to Notre Dame. And unfortunately, a coach had died that week at De La Salle. Zuby, yep. And I got to know the Zuby kids, and I'm still friends with them to this date. And I'll never forget, they wore black socks and put a black stripe on their helmet. And man, I'd never seen it was like a football force that night.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old. I think Russell Lawson had 6 touchdowns on 3 carries, if that's even possible.
Sure.
But he just it was just a swarm of Spartans.
Right.
And uniquely that night, for some reason, the game was such a blowout. We went out in the back and we were just playing tackle football with a bunch of guys, and I chipped this tooth and these 3 teeth down here that night.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I talked to Alan Ball about that. So the games on the old baseball field behind the bleachers were legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you because we talked about that. He played in those games, but you played in those games first. You just talked about that. You chipped a tooth. Did
it was actually at Moreau.
Oh, the game was at Moreau.
This game was at Moreau.
Okay, talk about this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all over the place. But the CAL the people, tell people what that was. The Catholic Athletic.
Yeah, Catholic Athletic League. It's kind of like what we're involved with now with the West Catholic Athletic League. But they had the CAL over there. I don't know all the teams, but Salesian.
Yeah, O'Dowd.
O'Dowd, Salesian, De La Salle.
St. Elizabeth.
In
basketball, St. Joe on the island.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's some great games.
Yeah,
great games.
Yeah.
And Greg Prawn actually became I called him my idol. And just kind of growing up, he was shorter guy like myself, and I don't want to embarrass him or anything, but he just ran so hard and had these giant thighs, and was just one of these guys that I really, really looked up to. I wanted to be just like Greg Prawn.
I think he played at St. Mary's.
He did play at St. Mary's.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, the 80 and Terry Edson talks about that game against Moreau as being one of the most important in Dallas, and then it's even more important how that's what got you hooked. I mean, as a 10-year-old,
sure,
and then talk about that progression. Yeah, you're 10, and that's when you want to be a Spartan.
Sure.
And then I'm trying to obviously 91 and 92. You would be also there in 89. What would we on freshman? Talk about this.
Yeah. So my brother was a varsity player.
Okay.
He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Okay.
So that was a team that lost twice. They lost to El Cerrito, and they lost to St. Francis.
Right. And they had the guy that went to Notre Dame, the lineman.
For St. Francis.
No, not St. Francis. I'm thinking.
Aaron Taylor. Aaron Taylor,
of
course.
And Amani Toomer.
So how about this?
Yeah, okay.
I had the fortunate occurrence of coach because I played JVs as a freshman.
Right.
And so I got brought up for the playoffs.
Right.
And I was a scout team running back.
Okay.
And it was it was straight fear.
Right.
From when it was like 3 o'clock high. Every time the clock started ticking towards 3 o'clock.
Right.
It was like, I got to put on pads.
Sure.
And go play against that guy.
Right.
Aaron Taylor. And so Coach Ladd, he called it the card team. That's what Ladd called the card team. He'd hold up the cards, and there was a little line drawn from me to go block Aaron Taylor. And I was just like, I think this is child abuse, Coach Ladd. It was frightening, but it helped me grow.
That's for sure. And so that was what would be the '89 playoffs. And and then in '90, were you on varsity or JV?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the '90 season?
We went undefeated that year.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So that was great. So the '89 team had a few losses early.
Right.
I remember there was a field goal missed against El Cerrito.
Sure.
And we lost at home. And just kind of. I growing up to that point, there was the big long 44-game win streak, and it was just kind of the beginning of just like total dominance by De La Salle in the East Bay.
So. And I remember I was a student at that time. I remember that when this is also we got to talk about. How old were you when Forrester hit the pylon in '87.
That was '87.
Yeah, talk about this. People don't even know what we're talking about. Talk about that.
I'd say De La Salle for me as a concept and going to school there and wanting to play there.
Yeah.
This kind of was born in '85 at that Moreau game for me at least.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, De La Salle never loses.
Sure.
Well, I grew up in Alamo, the Alamo Danville area, and that '87 game against all my best friends in that area. I was just watching. I was in the Coliseum.
Right.
And Forrester hit the pylon. They ruled him out.
Right.
And we still argue to this day with my buddy Damon Bowers and all my Monta Vista friends who I grew up with.
Right.
Oh man, that was a tough time.
Okay, now we got to get back. I'm going to talk to you off there about Damon Bowers. See, I know too much about this. Somehow, I think he went to UOP.
Sure.
But he was on The Bachelorette.
He was on The Bachelorette.
No one knows. Is he married now?
Yeah. He's married. He's got kids.
Does his wife know about that?
He's a well-adjusted human being. Yeah, he's good to go.
Is he around in this area?
Yeah, he still lives in Alamo right now.
Okay, well, that's it. Well, I found you. Afterwards, maybe I got to talk to Damon Bowers because my buddy Chuck Barney, who covers TV, we joke about The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Yeah. And I think he got, I don't know why I know this. I think it's because it's Chuck. It's Chuck's fault. I watched, because he said, watch Damon Bowers. Yeah. And he got cut like a football. He got cut.
He was robbed. He was
robbed. He didn't even get an opportunity. I mean,
no, he didn't. He made it past the first night, which is, just based on looks alone, I think.
Right. Yeah,
but he made his appearance. It was great.
No, but he did win in life. I mean, whoever that was, those relationships never last. He's now married to someone else, much more successfully. I mean,
very much so.
How many kids?
3 kids.
Yeah, okay, so that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
And talk about you. We're sitting here.
Yeah.
See, you're well-adjusted. A picture of your wife's in the back. I think that is your wife in the background.
Yep. It was one time. One time wedding.
No, I'm looking because you look a little different in that photo.
I had a few more pounds on me in that photo.
Okay, well that's why it's further back. But we'll talk about what's next. The mission here.
Yeah, I have a 4th grade son and a 1st grade son now,
Right.
and the 4th grade in the Catholic schools is the California history and the mission project.
Right.
Now it's Saint Serra, not
I'm
Father
sorry,
Serra.
New this year, right?
Yeah, new this week, pretty much. Yeah.
And that's
the Pope just kind of said that we have Saint Serra who founded all the missions.
Right.
And my son got the Santa Clara mission.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what's right here.
That's on the Santa Clara campus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, and it's the only campus that is built around a mission. The only college campus built around a mission.
And also, this also goes back to WCA years ago. Dan Pastorini. I think Bellarmine to Santa Clara to the Houston Oilers to the Oakland. We know too much. I mean,
there's a lot. And Dan Fouts, who's at St. Ignatius.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got Tom Brady. I think I'll claim that one.
Who is this Tom Brady you're talking? I never heard of him. I mean,
it's like Forrest Gump. When Forrest Gump went and saw the president, he said, I went and saw the president again.
Yeah, sure.
It's like Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl again.
And this is the exclusive. We won't even talk about Tom, but that's what happens to you the next 2 weeks. Every time New England's in the Super Bowl, people descend on the campus and they want you to talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You got stuff to do, so you've delegated this now.
Well, I wouldn't say I have stuff to do. I mean, it's just Tom Brady was on the interview committee that hired me, but I didn't coach Tom Brady.
Sure.
I mean, I happened to be at the school that Tommy played at.
Sure.
And I'm a football coach. So, but I've gotten to know him over the years from that interview process.
Yeah.
And he's a great. He's everything as portrayed.
We'll talk about this. See, I said 10 years at Serra. You've been there 14.
Right.
You were a young guy when you got the job.
Yeah. I was 26 and. Basically through another De La Salle friend, Brent Bianchina, who was on
the 85 team.
No, that's Rick Bianchina. That's his brother. Yeah.
Okay.
So Brent was on my team. Our team. Sorry, but he was a safety and played wide receiver.
Okay.
And he's been my best friend growing up with Damon.
Sure.
Which is kind of my 2 running mates growing up.
Right.
And I went to a Giants game with Brent.
Okay.
And this was in 2000. And he went to college at Santa Clara.
Okay.
With Carl Peterson, who happens to be the son of the president / principal at Serra at the time, Mike Peterson.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And I was like, hey, if that job ever opens up, I want to know about it.
Right, okay.
Because I knew Carl over the years through Brent.
Okay.
And then, surely enough, that was September, October.
Right.
With the Giants game.
Right.
And then, so I got a call in November. Hey, the job just opened up.
Right. So you're at Candlestick.
No, it wasn't a new stadium.
Oh, what was that? Okay, you're right. See, I forgot exactly.
I don't remember when it opened, but
no, it did.
It was definitely at
I think it opened. I think the stadium opened like in 2000.
So there you go. Might have been the first year.
Exactly. You were there for history. Okay. No, nobody knows this, but one of my good contacts is Ron Wotus, who's the bench. See, you know. See,
he taught me how to hit.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah,
talk about this.
I took lessons from Ron Wotus when I was a junior in college.
Right, okay.
And I took some hitting lessons from him. It was the most important,
Well, that's
probably 6 hours of my life in hitting.
That might have got you to Texas.
I definitely got me to Texas.
Okay.
I was just a dead pull hitter,
Okay.
man. Anything that came across the plate, I had a football mentality.
Right.
I swung at the first pitch every time.
Right.
I don't think I was really that good of a hitter.
Okay.
But the ball comes over the plate, and I'm
Yeah.
just trying to mash the thing.
No.
But he's like, look, slow down.
Yeah, no.
And he taught me how to hit the inside seam. He taught
Okay.
me an inside-out swing.
Oh.
And as you get older and
Yeah.
as the pitchers get better, the slider basically ends people's careers,
Sure,
especially
okay.
hitters, especially
Okay.
righty on righty.
Okay.
So he taught me how to wait back and hit the ball to the opposite field.
Right.
And that year I had my best year as a hitter
Yeah,
at San Jose
exactly.
State.
No, so and we have so. I mean, people don't understand. We have so much to talk about, and today we just wanted to get it started.
Sure.
And I don't want to get you in trouble with your wife, but I was joking about Whitesnake. You see, people, your young kids. Also, I don't want to get in trouble with your team. Maybe they'll Google Whitesnake, but Whitesnake was just. I guess they were okay, but their story was they had a big album in 1987, but
Yeah.
most of those songs are from 1982. The
Yeah.
reason why it became big was because of Tawny Katane.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
She sure could dance on the hood of a car, man.
exactly. I mean, that's it.
Not that I remember that.
Yeah. No. But Patrick, you brought it up though. I mean,
That's true.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
but that's the thing about this. We're not going to have anybody dancing on the hood of a car. But my point is, we're not going to do that. I mean, we have too much pride. But
It might get more people to watch the video, though.
well, that's true. Okay, but see, we don't care. We're all about content. I mean,
You got it.
So, but what we will do is we'll do more. We might tell some of these stories more in depth.
Okay.
But I meant, Wotus, I joke because he's my buddy. I mean,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. No, I joke. I mean, here I'll ask you, and he does. I do this every time. How many parades down Market Street did the Giants have before Ron Wotus joined the team?
0.
Actually, no, it's a trick question. One.
Oh, really?
Because in 1958, when they came to town.
Oh, okay.
See, that parade doesn't
Gotcha.
count, but it was a
Yeah.
parade, okay?
Right.
It should be 0.
Right.
But since he's joined the team, it's 3.
Hey, common thread.
And that's right. And you grew up, do you remember, so you were down in Alamo. Do you remember the Dome in Pleasant Hill? That was where maybe not, that was where they showed all the movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
used to
what I
love
joke
going
with Ron Wotus. This was 2 years ago. I joke because they tore down the Dome and people just were crushed by that. You know,
Oh, I love the Dome.
The Dome was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably saw like Raiders of the Lost Ark or
Yes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
did with my dad and my brother. I'll never forget that.
See, that's it.
In the Dome.
That's
Yeah.
right. You come.
Oh,
it was such a good theater. You come up from Alamo to the Dome. So my joke was when this was a couple of years when I tore it down. This was even when they only had 2 championships. They said, "Come to Pleasant Hill. We no longer have the Dome, but we have 2-time World Series champion Ron Wotus. Now 3-time. Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, he's humble like you. And no, I'm all over the place. We talk about like memorabilia. It's all hidden, but we'll show it later. There were like 4 rings, but tell me where did we find those rings? I mean,
Well, my wife has
I'll attest to this.
Yeah, my wife has a closet and she puts her jewelry in there, and I always had mine just tucked in some drawer. And
Right.
Actually, because of that system, I've lost a few over the years.
Sure.
which
Okay.
I'm not proud of, but
No.
especially the '92 ring.
Talk about that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a ring I probably would wear. I'm not one of those guys that walk around with a bunch of rings on, but the '92 team that
Well,
that
start tell people don't you lost in '91.
Yeah.
And
We lost in '91. That was a tough
okay.
situation.
Yeah.
And it goes back to those times in '87
Yeah.
when we watched Forster hit the pylon
Yeah.
and he didn't score,
Right.
and the Mustang fans going crazy, and
Yeah.
Monte Vista wins the game, and I never wanted to be I
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of a championship lore at De La Salle.
Right.
I didn't want to be a part of being known for a loss.
Right.
Or multiple losses, if
Right.
you will.
But you turned that one loss.
Right.
Tell people what you turned that one loss into, though. I mean.
Well, our team, and that's the ring you kind of
Yeah,
talked about was
yeah,
the
yeah.
151
Yeah.
ring that my teammate Steve Lilly, he made the video.
Okay.
And Steve Lilly did the video Perfect Effort.
Yeah, that's a very good way.
It's a great.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen that, that's definitely a must see for De La
absolutely.
Salle.
Watch that and Cobra.
And Cobra. Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, watch,
it goes down in history. Yeah.
No, watch Perfect Effort. I
Yeah,
mean,
watch Perfect Effort. Yeah. So he, as a commemorative to that, when he published his documentary,
Right.
Perfect Effort, kind of asked around and see if anybody wanted to buy the rings, and I was like, I'm all over that
Right.
because our team our team, off that difficult loss in '91
Yeah.
to Percy McGee and
Yeah.
Kirk Pardee in Pittsburgh,
Exactly.
Joey Aliotti.
Joey
was on the
Aliotti,
staff.
he drew up the
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
He changed the offense in the second half.
He did a great job.
Yeah,
Kept
exactly.
us off balance,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they didn't score, but it was just keep away the whole time.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
it just shrunk the game
Right,
down.
right.
But that was a great game plan, and it kind of rejuvenated all of us.
Right.
And there was a lot of historical figures on that team in the sense that Brent Bianchina's brother, as you mentioned before, he played in 1985.
Right.
Andy Nicholson's brother,
Okay.
Mike Nicholson, played on my brother's team in 1989.
Okay.
And Andrew Freeman's brother went to the school. So there was a lot of brothers on that team.
Okay.
So we wanted to be unique and special, like the guys we knew before.
Sure, yeah.
And we weren't.
Yeah.
The reality of it was our junior year we weren't. We
Yeah.
lost, and it was. But that kind of was the launch point for our senior year.
The 151.
Right.
And you talk about brothers, it would have been 72, 73. Your brother Nick on the 97 team.
Right.
He finished what you started. Tell people about that.
Sure, yeah. So then passed on to generations and generations of Spartans. My brother's team, which was win 100 of the streak.
Yeah.
Actually was the what was it? No, 72,
I
78.
think,
I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly.
You're right.
So you're like me. We don't keep track of numbers. All we know about in 1997 at College Park High School.
Right.
At DVC, beating College Park.
Right.
And the Hudson guys came out. It doesn't. That was it, breaking the national record.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't. I don't think that was my brother's. It would have been my brother's either sophomore or junior year.
It was his junior year.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
See, I know too much because of
Sure.
Shea Hansen.
There you go.
Yeah,
It was my
yeah.
brother's junior year.
Yeah, exactly.
They broke the streak. I stayed there a couple extra years, and actually, what's cool to me is I got to play in game 1 of the streak, and I was coaching in game 100 of the streak.
Right.
That's pretty crazy.
Exactly. And you started the streak, and I'm trying to think. We got to get you up to Serra High School today. We do have to get you to this most important meeting up. What is the meeting today at Serra High School?
I just have to meet with the administrators about my flag football business.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm glad you brought that up, and that's actually a story. That's why I'm able to talk to you today on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Why aren't you teaching?
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wasn't a very good teacher, man. I got, in all honesty, I got hired as a 26-year-old. I had no teaching experience.
Sure.
But I was an English major in college,
Sure.
so I enjoyed reading, I enjoyed writing.
Yeah.
But when I got hired there, I thought that they were hiring me to beat Bellarmine and St. Francis, we hadn't done in 25 years. So my intent at that point was to do everything I can to to make sure we have a competitive football team.
Right.
But I was also teaching junior English, and man, there's some good stories there. But I'm good at the things I'm passionate about. At that time, I wasn't passionate about being an English teacher, unfortunately. So the guys that watch this will know, like, I know what Coach is talking about.
Sure.
I throw a video on, throw on some Huckleberry Finn videos and try to drop game plans. But
You might have learned this from Pat Purple Hayes. It wasn't English, but the Devil Salle. I watched more movies with Pat Purple Hayes than anybody else.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I enjoyed his evil class was great. Pat Hayes' evil class was great. I really enjoyed that class. So anyway, I think we had some fun. We had some good times, but I wasn't. That wasn't my passion at that time, and it got me on campus.
But it did transition. I've seen this firsthand. Your flag football. I mean, talk about that. This is special. I mean, tell people about.
I've been running camps for 14. Ever since I got to Serra, I've been running summer camps.
Right.
And then just over time, my son went and played in a local flag football league, and I said, hey, maybe there's some things I could do a little bit better.
Right.
So we opened up Serra, and a few kids showed up, and hey, bring your friends. By the end of the first time I did this, there was a couple hundred kids running around the field.
Yeah.
I needed help, so I had the Serra kids help me run drills, and so just by fate, and I had the idea of, hey, I'm going to start a league. Right. And 4 years later, the league's still going, and we have 6 sites across the Bay Area, including De La Salle this year, which is in its first year, has over 500 kids playing at De La Salle.
So my buddy Alan Baugh is running that one?
He's running that one,
You trust him?
I do trust Justin.
I do. Justin's you were assistant coach with, or no, I'm trying to think. No, you coached with Justin.
I coached Justin and then coached with Justin.
Exactly. And now you coach against Justin.
Now I coach against Justin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a
That is
challenging experience.
That is the one thing is I want to cover some of your games, but I don't think I could. I went last time, and I didn't know you as well. I don't think I could do a De La Salle Serra game now. It would be too difficult because I
Yeah.
like both of you guys. And are there ties? And there's no. You don't want it. Oh, that's also a joke about that De La Salle movie. You had a great quote about. It was a pretty good movie, but there was one inaccuracy. We never lost to Clayton Valley.
No, we never lost to Clayton. I mean, I guess they had to create some drama.
Right. There were a couple of real losses that year. I mean, we lost to Bellarmine. We lost, not to Bellarmine, but to Bellevue up in
Bellevue, yeah.
And then, see, I'm even making up stuff that never happened. We never lost to Bellarmine.
Yeah.
Greg Prom beat Bellarmine. That was a big
That's right.
deal. Yeah, okay.
At St. Mary's, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
I was at that game.
You see, and then the other thing about that, I think we lost like Clovis West or Clovis East or something.
7-0.
See, exactly, 7-0. Maybe like tied Palma or something. But
no, they tied Clayton.
And we did tie Clayton, but we didn't lose.
It might have tied Palma too.
I think we did.
Anyway, you didn't have to make up that we lost to Clayton.
Exactly. I mean, the only thing worse would be say we lost to Monte Vista. That would have been a travesty.
Right. But truthful in '87.
Exactly, '87. But
we wouldn't want to glorify that.
Exactly. Okay, so to wrap up here, people hope they figured out that we're having a great time.
Sure.
And that we'll do more. And as I said, the other thing behind the scenes here, Patrick. See, I'm over there in the East Bay, but see, through a stroke of luck, my sister lives on the peninsula, and just had a little child, a little young.
Congratulations.
Exactly, but see, that's where you got to come to the house because these both like educated Silicon Valley types, and they don't watch football. So it's up to me, and so I'll have the coach from Serra come to the house one day.
He's your nephew.
He's my nephew, and
there you go.
He's only 2 months old, but we want to foster. We want to foster the NFL red zone.
There you go.
And then but my point being is I'm all over the place, but because of that, I can get here in half an hour. See,
perfect.
And we figured it out. Okay, so no, we'll just wrap up. As I said, no, the flag. Talk about. I saw that firsthand. I mean, my buddy had a kid in the league, so I come up on a Sunday, and I'm just amazed. I'm watching it, and the best part about it is how you take an interest in every kid. And at the end, all the other parents were just standing on the sidelines. You brought everyone together.
Sure.
So I was the one old guy that was in the huddle there. I had a beard. I hope that was allowed. but it was tell like little things you would tell the kids. I mean, just little. Go ahead.
Well, I think especially at the youth level, football can be done wrong.
Yeah.
There's TV shows about youth football, and there's some horror stories about it.
Yeah.
And I think kids get turned off of the game and get turned off, and parents do, about how their kids are being treated.
Right.
And I think there's a mentality, there's an old school mentality that the more difficult or angry you are as a coach, the better coach you are.
Right.
And that might have even, I've learned over the 14 years that that there's a way to coach and not diminish or demean kids.
Sure.
And Coach Ladd has always been about that. You never demean kids, challenge them.
Yeah.
And I think what I like most about it is just seeing like a second grader just with flags on dive across the pylon and just that smile and just what I like most about it is just we call ourselves a kids first environment.
Yeah.
And it's hard in youth sports to be kids first because it's a natural, especially with a little guy out there.
Yeah, yeah.
As a dad now, just looking out there, I call it dad vision.
Yeah, sure.
It's hard to, my kid's on field one. And
Right.
But dad and parents we're naturally going to be drawn to our kids running around.
Exactly.
And we want to protect them and take care of them. So what's the best thing for me in seeing this across the Bay Area now is just the joy that football can bring to kids.
Exactly.
And the fact that we're doing that as a company now and as an organization is really cool.
This I'll talk to you. You said, Brian, what is your goal? Or so I need a goal, and you have a business here, and maybe that's off the air. We see what the board people we talk about. We could talk about what I can do. How I don't know. I know, but you said you started with flag football, and it went everywhere. And literally, you talk about your son. He's on field one. I watched you. You might be on field one with him, but then you're on field two. You're on field three. You're on field four. Right. And at the end, you brought everyone together. And I said, I went out there, and I just remember it was like something like the Buffalo versus the Bears, because you give everybody a college team. Yeah. And he said, what was the score over there? And the kid said, well, it was the Buffalo 62, the Bears 55. He said, oh, wow, that's a great game. Maybe not a whole lot of defense was played. We'll work on that next week. And just the joy. And even at the half, it was sort of a precursor. At the halftime of the De La Salle Serra game at De La Salle this year, You guys were out there. See, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, see, I just saw all this. See, that's the thing, Patrick. I've always been, now you know who I am. But see, I've been undercover there. And so I literally would stand next to you and just sort of, that's what I did with Scooter Berry. Are these guys good guys? And the answer is a resounding yes.
Sure,
like
you
would just had talked to your team at halftime, but then those kids were coming off the field, and you talked to them for about 2 minutes about their games, you know. So yeah, so no, we'll just wrap up. So much to talk about. Sarah is now a saint.
Saint Serra.
Exactly that.
Former Father Serra. He's Saint Serra.
Okay, we talked about that,
Yep.
and we'll just wrap up here. And we haven't even talked about Lasser.
Yeah.
I mean, so we get to that meeting. We'll break this up. The Terry Edson thing was 5 parts.
Sure.
You might have like a 10-part thing here.
I can't go more than Terry.
Okay.
No, Terry, or we could go longer, but Terry gets, if he's at 5, I got to go 4. There's no way I deserve to be on camera more than Terry.
Okay.
Or ladder, but
I haven't even had Lad on. That's what you got to help me with.
Sure, I bet.
Okay, fair enough. I can't thank you enough, Pat. I mean, this was just a wonderful day, and we'll talk more.
We'll do it again for sure.
You got it. Thank you. Thanks for all your time.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
This is great. Yeah.
All right.